Your court television news starting now.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to your Tuesday night pre-Thanksgiving Day court case updates on the NJCourts TV channel with your host, NJCourts. As a matter of fact, let me switch hats here. We're a little silly for our updates today. I was just doing my old usual things throughout the day today. I needed to keep my nice bald head warm, but we're doing court case updates. So let me switch to the old NJCourts official fedora. How's that? A little bit better? I still like my Grinch hat, but I don't want people to think I'm a Grinch because I'm a nice guy. But welcome, everybody. Welcome to part 2, our second update of the day. If you missed our first update from this morning, I suggest you check it out. We had some breaking news with the MGL, otherwise known as Michelle Sabate's newest charges that she's now facing in the Harris County Superior Court. But that's old news. We broke that this morning. So if you want to update yourself on that, you can check out the VOD after this broadcast. But this evening, ladies and gents, as promised this morning, I will be giving you updates on Mr. Mike Strokeoff. We've got updates on Hampton Brandon's court case, which was last week. Mike Strokeoff's court case was this morning. And we've got our update on Old Girl, a.k.a. Alicia Heskett, a.k.a. Ski Mask on and off girlfriend, whatever you want to call her. Her case was also last week. So if you were one of the unlucky members of the jury, I actually featured on Friday a court case update on most of those individuals, except for Mr. Strokeoff. Also last week was the scheduled hearing for Action Man, but that has been rescheduled. I broke that news to you a few updates ago, but that was one of the hearings that we had on the e-calendar, but that was rescheduled, and I believe that was scheduled for a hearing sometime in December. So tonight we've got 3 court case updates we're going to go over. We may talk about some other things. You guys know how it goes. Don't plan on taking too much of your time. I know it's kind of getting to be close to the holidays. Families around. You guys got things to do. So let's probably try to keep it under an hour. I'll try my best. But again, I want to say a big thank you to everybody that's joined me this evening. Thank you to all the mods for being here tonight. Thank you for all the members of the jury for being here tonight. And thank you for all the viewers, whether you love me, hate me, or you're somewhere in between, as I always say. Let me just get myself situated really quick. Let me get chat up here. Bless you, little Dobbs. And we'll get started right away. Let me get the comments up. And let me take a little swig of my Powerade. There we go. Oh, Marilyn, let me tell you something. When you put comments like that, I just take even longer. So we're going to add an extra 5 minutes till I start just for you. All right, you guys want to start with Mr. Strokeoff? He might come in. We'll check to see in the chat if he does pop in. If he wants to speak on his behalf, he's more than welcome to give us an update on what happened today. But either way, I do have the update on the court case updates online, so we can read that. I can tell you exactly what happened. I will tell you, if he doesn't show up tonight, it's not because he's in jail. He was not incarcerated today, so spoiler alert. As a matter of fact, he got pretty lucky today. That's why I was hoping he'd pop in a chat and we can bring him up on the panel just to kind of get the exact details. But based on what I saw and what I'm going to share with you right now, I was just kidding with you, Marilyn, if you haven't noticed. So don't take things serious. It's just the internet. Not saying you are, but if you were. All right. So let's jump over here, and then I will start with the Mike Strokeoff update. Again, what I'm going to be sharing with you is all public information that you can access in case you want to fact check me. Welcome all the members of the jury just coming in. All right. So let's go. As a matter of fact, hold on. I think I need I don't know if, let me just, before I start, make sure I got this adjustment set here because I don't know if it got done or not. Let me go up here. I don't think so. Let me just put it on subscriber mode really quick in the chat. Give me 1 second. I forgot to do that. in the chat. Give me 1 second. Put myself down here. Moderation, participant mode, subscribers. Sorry, you're gonna have to sub if you want to chat. We just forgot to put that out at the beginning, but we always have it on subscriber mode. All right, so there we go. I should have put that on right now. Hopefully that'll pop up. And let me set it up here as well. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Oh, no. Let's do this one. 5 minutes. Save. There we go. All right, cool. I think we're good. All right, we can get started now. So let me just get to all the messages here. Show all messages on chat. All right, we're good to go on chat there. Let me bring up the court information for Mr. Strokeoff, and we will get started. What up, Star Striker? All right. Share screen. We're going to go here. I'm going to go here. All right. So we're just going to get right to it. So Mr. Strokeoff, otherwise known by his legal name, Michael Ryan Eggleston, had court today. This hearing, just to give you just a quick little bit of background information, had to do with charges that he was charged with stemming from the arrest of the night when he was with Captain Content at the Big Bear, I think coming back from eating, but this is when they were snowboarding at the Big Bear ski resort in Big Bear, California. I think it's called Big Bear City, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, Mike was driving, he was pulled over, and he was arrested that evening for DUI, okay? Some time has passed since this arrest. I think he had actually, and this is just what and hopefully he'll be able to come up and give us, the exact information. But if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he showed up to his scheduled court hearing regarding these charges. He kind of just skipped out on it. And I believe it was last week or a couple weeks ago, he didn't have anything scheduled as far as a hearing. He just went ahead and showed up to take care of these issues, okay? He was actually worried that he was going to get arrested when we actually talked to him a couple of weeks ago when he just went straight in to see what they were going to do. They did actually talk to him. I believe he spoke with a judge, and they just went ahead and took a plea from him, which at that time he had pled not guilty to all the charges. And then they scheduled his hearing, which was for today, okay? So again, this morning he was a little worried that he might be incarcerated. He was not. As a matter of fact, as you can see here, we're going to go over the dispositions to the 3 charges that he was facing today. So again, he had originally pled not guilty, I believe, to all 3 of the charges. Just to make it simple on everybody, he pretty much took a plea deal. They dismissed the 2 DUI charges, so he was very lucky to get those dismissed. And they pretty much had him enter a no contest plea having to do with the misdemeanor charge of reckless driving. So pretty much all he got was a misdemeanor probation for the reckless driving charge. And he also has to attend a alcohol education program that he's got enrolled by, looks like the end of January of next year, and has to complete by June of next year. His probation looks like it starts as of today and is a 1-year probation and ends 1 year from today. So 11/25 of 2025 of next year. They did sentence him, it appears, to 2 days in jail, but they did give him credit for time served. So again, he wasn't incarcerated today. They went ahead and sentenced him 2 days, but then they credited him for 2 days. So that canceled out any time he had to serve. So pretty much he was sent on his way home with him having to enroll into an alcohol education program and pretty much having to adhere to the court rules for their probation, which I haven't read yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be like most of your probation programs, which means don't get in any trouble, which is the first rule. And, report any issues you have if you get arrested, if you get a ticket, blah, 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 blah. You guys know how it goes. So most of the people a lot of the people, as a matter of fact, that we've covered on this channel usually get probation, surprisingly. But like I said, in this case, it sounds like Mr. Strokeoff was pretty lucky that they went in and dismissed both of the DUIs that he was, two DUI charges he was facing. Let me scroll back up here really quick. And had him plead no contest to the misdemeanor charge of reckless driving, which he received 1 year probation. Looks like a 2 days county jail sentence, which they credited him for 2 days already served, so he didn't have to serve any jail time. And like I said earlier, he has to enroll in a alcohol education program by June, or complete it by June of next year, enroll by January of next year, end of January next year. So that takes care of what he was facing as far as the charges in San Bernardino County. I believe he's still facing a DUI charge out of Riverside County. Don't quote me on that. If we get Mike up here, we can ask him to kind of fill us in on what else he's facing, or what else he needs to take care of to clear all his, record as far as, as far as open charges. But as far as what he was facing out of San Bernardino County, that looks like this case has been disposed of. All right, so that concludes my update as far as what went on with Mr. Mike Strokeoff. Again, that hearing was this morning at 8:30 a.m. I did try to see if I could get in on the Zoom hearing. He had to show up in person, but sometimes they still record, or they have people that have to, attend, like some of the attorneys through Zoom. But they didn't have it on, or they just didn't give me access. One of the two. But either way, it looks like they gave us a pretty good update through here. Okay, I think Roofer's saying Mike's in the chat. Okay, cool. Nice, Mike. Let me bring you up if you don't mind, and we'll get your hear it from you as far as what happened. Hopefully, I got everything kind of correct just based on what I read. But I'll share the link here with you so you can come up and let us know what's going on. Well, what happened today, and let us know what else is going on with you. I think, like I said, you may be facing some other things in Riverside, but you correct me if I was wrong on that. Let me share the link here with you. And here you go. And again, I'm just going to have Mike up today. I know if you guys have questions, put them up in chat. Mike might be reading them. I'll try my best to, read some of the questions I see in chat. But we'll just bring him up and see what he has to say about what happened today, and fill us in on anything else he wants to share. And then as soon as we get done talking to Mike, we'll move over to the Hampton Brandon update. That one, I got some things to share with you guys. Hey, Mike, let me get him up here really quick. Mike's in the stage. Bring you up here. As a matter of fact, we can probably take this out of the way. Oh, sorry, all my dogs just ran in. What's up, Mike? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. Well, obviously it doesn't appear that you're incarcerated right now.
Nope.
Based on what I read, it sounds like they dismissed the serious charges and had you plead no contest to reckless driving and gave you some probation and sign up for a alcohol class. Is that about right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll correct you on everything else, but I'm probably going to cut out. I got real bad service where I'm at.
Okay, no worries, man. I can hear you all right.
So basically how it went down was the Riverside stuff's almost taken care of. I've got 5 days work release and a fine and everything, and that's it. Just pay the fine and do the 5 days, which I only got like a couple left of that.
Okay.
But that's the Riverside shit squashed. But that was my first DUI, the warrants for the first DUI. I went into court in Riverside, and they said I'm there for 2 warrants. And I said, for what? Said 2016, I didn't do something for the thing. I said, well, I had a driver's license. And they're like, oh, you do? Give it up. Surrender it now. Anyway, I was like, I corrected that. They figured it out. And I was like, it was another community service. And then a book and release. I had to turn myself into jail for a day. And I did that. And so then now the Riverside thing squashed. So now the next court date was the San Bernardino County. I go in and it's like a drive-through court. It's the weirdest shit. You stand outside, you walk in, they put a couple people at a time, and all they do is just Basically, you don't say one word. The judge is sitting there on a tiny little desk in a computer going, all right, you're pleading not guilty to this, blah, blah, blah. You're going to come back on this day, and just hands you a card and you just
That's
walk
funny
away.
you say that, because on the court description, it literally said outside court. And
Yeah,
I
it's
was
an
kind of like,
outside
what
court,
the
which
fuck
was
does that
weird.
mean?
Dude, it was literally, you walk in, they take your ID, the bailiff guy screams your name to her, and then I go, good morning, Your Honor, and you stand in front of two little fucking orange cones, and then she just fucking spits her shit and then sends you on your way. I was in there
when
for
they went in and
literally,
scheduled you for the hearing today then.
yeah, so then they scheduled me for the hearing today. So I show up today, and this is the craziest shit again, too. Everybody waits outside the courtroom. The public defender walks out and talks to you, and then fucking they'll take you inside and then talk to the judge. Well, I'm literally the last one that they talked to, and they were coming out calling names and no one's there. I said, hey, I'm Mike. If you want to talk to me, she like, let me go see what's up. The lady comes out and she goes, well, that's the public defender that's helping this other guy sitting on the bench that's supposed to represent your case. But I'm the supervisor to the public defender's office. She's all, I'm just supposed to be here to supervise all these. There's like 15 fucking of them, dude. There's so many public defenders coming out and dealing with people. So she comes in, all right, I'm going to handle it. She comes back out and she's like, this is really weird. We don't really know how to charge this. We're really confused on really what happened. It was a YouTube live stream caller that called you in. So really the probable cause. And I said, yeah. I was like, oh, I didn't know. That's new information to me. So I was like, she's sitting there saying, okay, well, we got this offer. We're going to treat it as a first time offense, not a second offense. And we're just going to go give you the 3-month program. You're going to pay the fines, do the AA meetings, and you're going to do this like online class. She's like, do you want to take that? And I said, well, it'd be cool to get it dismissed. And she's like, well, we can't do that. And I was like, well, how about a wet and reckless? And she's like, let me go ask. I'll go see. She comes right back out. She's like, yeah, we'll do wet and reckless. You agree? And I was like, yeah. Literally initial, 2 signatures. And she's like, all right. Comes back. She's all, hey, I'm going to try to get you out of here before the lunch break. She comes out, your lucky day. Here you go. You're good to go. And that was it. I didn't even go in the courtroom. Didn't see a judge. Nothing.
Wow.
Real
That's
fucking weird.
That's yeah.
So
I've never heard
what
of
it was,
anything kind of go down like that for like
it was fucking, it was really weird because everyone else got talked to and then they come out another time and then take them inside. Like the guy before me fucking got taken in. And when he finally came out, he's like screaming at his girlfriend, they're giving me a fucking year. And I was like, well, shit, I'm the last one being seen. I'm pretty sure they're going to fucking take me in too. Cause they wait to take everyone in on the last instead of all the beginning ones that are leaving.
You know what, Strokeoff? I think you got the luck of these people wanting to get the fuck out of there for Thanksgiving holiday luck, man. No, I'm just messing with you. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty legit deal on your end for,
Sorry,
as far as having, I guess, the previous DUI in Riverside. So technically this was kind of like a second charge, right?
Well, it should have been a second DUI. The first one was in 2016 though.
Okay.
So it was incompleted shit and I had warrants and I was dealing with the running a stop sign, driving on a suspended license and no insurance. So I did that and they just ran everything concurrent. So they gave me a year of probation and 10 days work release, which they cut in half once you instate in it. So I got 5 days work release and like a $1,500 fine.
So that was out of Riverside, right?
Yeah. So that's out of Riverside.
So technically you were just facing one DUI out of Riverside and this DUI charge out of
well, the DUI in Riverside was fucking from 2016.
Okay.
It's my first one. I did everything that they asked. I thought I went to the DMV, got my license back and was back in action, did all the fucking classes, did everything, get it all off.
So at this point,
I guess I didn't do that.
So at this point, then, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It sounds like you pretty much just have to take care of your just probation and classes for both counties then.
Yeah. So yeah, this probation will end a little later than the other one. But yeah. Well, so they gave me the charges were you're gonna do a MAD class online for like an hour. It's like the Mothers Against Drunk Drivers or something like that. I'm gonna do a 3-month alcohol class, which I gotta do once a week for 3 months, which does cost money, and no fines or nothing. Didn't get one fine.
Well, that's good. How about with the probation? Is that like no alcohol, no getting in trouble or anything like that?
Formal probation.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't get caught.
Pretty much sounds like you just need to stay out of trouble then. What it sounds
Yeah,
like,
they're like,
right?
don't get caught with it. So yeah, if I get like a drunk in public, they can fucking like violate my probation. Yeah.
Or pretty
But I
much
haven't
like
been drinking,
anything,
dude.
right?
I
I
had a
mean,
real
if you
bad
get,
I had a
it
I had a
doesn't
real
have
bad
to be.
episode. I'm laying off the booze for a while.
Well, good, man. I wish you the best of luck with that. And
It never works. I need to
well,
fucking
I mean,
I need to
just
work.
keep
I'm,
trying
I'm
at
gonna
it.
go to
And
AA meetings just to go to them, dude. Fucking I need somewhere to go because fuck, dude, it's hard.
well, I
But
think if you just find the right program that you fits for, with you, hopefully you'll get that help you need. Just keep looking for help, man. I mean, you're already doing good by starting to take care of this shit. And look at what
yeah,
happened in this case.
another thing. The reason why I had this court date were not from the one for the outdoor court or whatever. I got cited for having a warrant. That was when I got locked up in Twin Towers when I was locked up in Pomona.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I got locked up in Pomona, they fucking took my ass to Twin Towers for a week. But when I got back, I had a fucking ticket for the warrant for the site, a site for the warrant. So then that's why I was like, fuck it. Now I really got to take care of it. Cause that's the other thing I want to correct you on.
Oh,
I
so you're
did
saying
go to,
they issued out a warrant out of San Bernardino while you were at Twin Towers because you weren't able to.
no. Listen. The warrant for San Bernardino. So I'm correcting you on this. I went to my original court date. I went to the original court date. I'm not on the docket. I go to the clerk's office. They said, yeah, you're not on the docket. Here, they put a little tiny little piece of paper that has this thing on it and says, we're going to give you an email or a phone call with another court date. And I said, okay, cool. And like months were going by. I didn't read the little fine print, dude, that I was supposed to check in like every 10 days. They didn't tell me that. And it's so tiny of letters. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I get stupid information from one of my friend's wives saying, yeah, my friend got her shit dismissed just because it went over a year and the DA didn't turn it in. I said, well, fuck, I'm almost at a year right now. I might as well just not call then. So it was been like 2 years, that DUI with Captain.
Okay.
It was from
Yeah, I was
February
gonna say,
1st
it's
of
been
like
a while.
2022. And so it's been a minute. So yeah, I did what I was supposed to do, but they didn't do what they were supposed to do. The DA didn't turn it in yet, so I wasn't on the docket.
As far as helping you stay out of trouble and with the drinking, have you possibly looked into maybe like picking up some just regular employment or part-time employment to kind of get you out of the house?
I've been looking. All I get fucking little odd jobs, dude, because I don't have a car anymore. Because that's the other court case I'm dealing with next. When I crashed my car and got fucking and then got locked up in the fucking mental ward that night.
Now, if you were to get a car right now, you wouldn't have to put a breathalyzer or anything on it.
Yes, no, I wouldn't. No, you're right. I wouldn't. They were stating that they were sending me all the information for the interlock system, and I would have to pay for that. So yeah, they didn't mention that today. So I don't know. Maybe I just said I don't have a car right now, so that maybe they just didn't mention it. But
I
I'm
would
pretty
just
sure.
probably, if I was you, I would probably call the DMV office if you get to that point where you.
Well, that's the thing. When I go into the DMV to try to get because I can get a license now. I go to the DMV, but it's going to be a restricted license. It'll be to and from work, to and from DUI classes. That's all you can drive. That's it. Other than that, you get caught on the road, you're fucking violating your probation. So yeah.
All right, Mike.
But then I got the other court case that I'm dealing with the collision, which is basically the same thing, driving on a suspended, no insurance. And that's going to be out of LA County.
And what happened on that again? Can you remind me? Like,
a fucking guy stopped at the yellow light and I smashed into the back of him. And then they fucking Zoe was with me and she got taken in an ambulance one way. My car got taken one way. And they left me on the side of the road with 2 duffel bags, a laundry basket, and a backpack right there on the underpass, trying to get on the freeway. And then I had a friend's brother pick me up. I called my friend that I knew that lived in that town. And he picked me up and he's like, I can only drive you as far as Covina Metrolink. And then, of course, I go live putting stupid titles and fucking had a half a bottle of vodka still in my bag, start pounding it, saying I was going to like headbutt a train or something. The cops came, arrested me and gave me a 5150, put me in mental ward for 72-hour hold. And then so then I got out of that. That was a whole fucking shit show. They kept my belongings captive, dude. When I got released, you have to set an appointment up just to get your thing back. And then otherwise they can't do it. And the lady already left. Luckily, a guy that I met in there gave me his number because he came up to me. He was like, you don't need to be here, do you? I was like, no, I was saying the same about you. I heard your phone call. He's like, let me give you my number. I live right where you were talking about. And so he showed up with his grandma and his aunt, and they gave me a fucking vape, fucking bought me in and out, and drove me all the way home. I was like,
Oh,
shit.
wow. That's nice of him.
Yeah, I told the police officer, I said, I'm just going to sleep outside your door. This is public property. I was like, kick me the fuck off, dude. I want my shit. You know, they're getting mad, ready to arrest me again.
Right.
And they're like, no, you won't. And I was like, and there's like a park right there across the street. Well, anyway, I get there like a week later to get my stuff. And the lady's like, well, I need your ID. I said, you got it in my property. Well, okay, you need proof of something. I said, dude, come on, man. Like, fucking give me my shit, dude. I give you all the information you need. And the lady eventually gives, and she's like, but you need to put it in a car. And I was like, I got dropped off. Like, what do you mean I got to put it in a car? I don't have a fucking car. The night you guys arrested me, I crashed it. It's in the fucking junkyard. Right. And they're like, go across the street into the park and we'll drop it off there. And then she waited and said, we need proof. So find your ID. And so I ripped open the bags. Of course, it's 4 bags. And the 4th one is the one I find it in. And then I show it to her and she's like, okay, just come back in and let me know if anything else is missing. But other than that, yeah. So now I got to deal with that. You know, I'm sure you'll figure it out. I don't like saying my court dates, but whatever. Yeah, it is public record. It is public record.
Well, and at least you respect that a bit. You know, I've heard you say
that. I'll keep my mouth shut and let you do your job.
That works for me, Strokeoff. Hey, man, well, I'll let you go, man. I appreciate you taking the time and filling us in, man. And, you know, take care of yourself, bro. It sounds like you're on the right track, you know, and obviously it's going to be a little bit of a bumpy road, but, you know.
I think it's one of the weirdest court dates I've ever been, where I didn't even see a judge. And, you know, the Pomona one, when I got back, I didn't even get to see the judge then either. They just made me sign a paper. They made me sign a paper when I went back to court after I was in jail in Twin Towers in LA, signed the paper. And then I'm like, yo, I never talked to the judge. He's like, you're dismissed. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, you want to be released here or released in LA? I was like, where's my shit? They're all in LA. I was like, why would I get released here? I don't even have clothes. And then they're all, we'll give you a paper suit. I was like, so I'm going to wander around fucking Pomona in a paper suit trying to ask people for a cell phone to get a bus schedule back to LA to go get my shit? Like, you guys are crazy. And that was a wild one. I wandered the jail for a while before they made me put me back in my cell, because they just like scan your wristband and say, go back to your cell. I was like, fuck this, dude. I'm going to walk around. That's crazy.
All right, Mike. Hey, have a good Thanksgiving holiday, man.
Get on with your show, bro.
I will. We're almost done, brother. We're going to just do 2 more updates. And like I said, I appreciate you coming up and filling us in on what happened today. So have a good one. Man. Have a good Thanksgiving, man. And like I said, good luck on your journey and take care, brother.
Yeah, happy holidays. Peace.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Later, Strokeoff. All right, you guys. That was Mike Strokeoff. So like I said, we always appreciate anybody we cover coming up and speaking on their behalf. He was able to correct me on some things, so I was glad that he was here this evening. That way we got everything correct, and you heard it from the horse's mouth, as they say. So, all right, so what we're going to do is go ahead and move on to our Hampton Brandon update. I'm going to try to get through this as quick as possible, just because if I start going into his other case, it's going to just prolong everything, and we've already talked about that. So let me get this out of the way. So let me just kind of give you a little backstory here, just to remind everybody. So if you remember the last update we had on Hampton Brandon, we actually were able to show you his actual physical court hearing, video and audio and everything, okay? I'm sure most of you saw that. If not, it's a VOD. You can go back on the main channel, look under lives, go down and find it. Very interesting hearing. Long story short, pretty much Brandon left that hearing with that one again had to do with his let's see here. Because he got in trouble originally for trespassing and breaking a protection order is what got him in this whole mess. And then, if you guys remember, most recently he was arrested and put in jail and was still incarcerated as of just last week when he was released, okay? And if you guys remember, when he left that last hearing that I showed you guys up here, he was going back to jail. They didn't release him that date, and then he was scheduled for his next hearing. Well, they did release him on that next hearing. Now, that next hearing had to do with his most recent charges, which were him getting pulled over on a bicycle because he didn't have any tail lights. And then he refused to give information to the officer, so they got him with obstructing. And then he had a couple of warrants out for the, I guess, because his ankle monitor bracelet went out of service. And as soon as that happened, they issued out warrants because of that for his arrest. Okay. Now, when he went to go see the judge on the hearing that you guys saw, that had to do with not those charges. It had to do with the original charges, okay, of trespassing and breaking a protection order. He went ahead and pled after a long discussion with the judge and his public defender. He went ahead and said and changed his plea at one time to go ahead and plead not guilty to those two charges. He is still scheduled, and I'll get you the date here in a second, for that jury trial, okay? He was then scheduled, which was the hearing that I'm giving you the update now on, just last week, for the newest charges, which had to do again with him not having the right lights on his bicycle, obstructing an officer without violence, and then the warrants, okay? The judge, what he pretty much did was he pretty much had Brandon take a plea deal, pretty much a no contest. They call it a nolo contendere or contendere. We've talked about that before, or just a nolo plea, which is pretty much a no contest plea. And he dismissed one of the charges. Okay. So let me show you that paperwork. Pretty much he dismissed the improper light charge, and he had him plead no contest or nolo on the obstructing an officer without violence. And he did that without adjudication, which means that he's not convicted of that charge and is able to get probation or whatever the judge wants to pretty much sentence him on, but not on a conviction. So in this case, the judge didn't even give him, I'll double check, but I don't think he even gave him probation. He just made him pay fines and court fees is all. So let me show you the paperwork. So pretty much in short, Hampton got pretty lucky. He got released. He got one of the charges dismissed, and then had to plead no contest to the obstructing an officer charge, and received a no adjudication, which means he wasn't convicted, and just got a fine that he has to pay with that. All right, so I'm going to show you all that paperwork now, just so you guys can see it for yourself. So hopefully that kind of explained it, but I hope I didn't confuse you at the same time. So that's why I'm going to show you the paperwork and make it a little easier once you see it. So just give me a second and I'll bring that up. Now, for sure, I will try to get Brandon up here a few times. As a matter of fact, he reached out one time to tell the channel pretty much to F off. And weren't able to get him in on any interviews after that. And don't expect him to come up on any. But all his information is public. You can access this through the Broward County Clerk's website. Let me make sure you guys can see what I'm looking at. No, you can't. There you go. Now you can. And here we go. So pretty much this is going to be his disposition paperwork, which tells us what happened on the 18th. That was, again, last week when he had his hearing. I know I'm a little late on the update. As a matter of fact, I gave the members of the jury an update last Friday. But for you guys, I'm a little late. But either way, here it is. So the two charges again. Now, they didn't do it. The judge dismissed everything having to do with the warrants. So he's not getting any charges having to do with the warrants or anything like that. Again, he's still facing, I'm sure he's still got an ankle monitor bracelet. He is out of jail, but he is still facing the two charges that he pled not guilty on, which have to do with the, what did I say again? Breaking the protective order and trespassing. Okay. So I'll get you the date on those charges here in a second, but let's just finish up what happened on the 18th. So again, that court date, he was facing the charges of resisting, obstructing an officer without violence, and bicycle/moped violations. Okay. So they have down here, I highlighted it. Charge 1 is the resisting, obstructing without violence charge. Charge number 2 is the bicycle violation. Okay. So if you go here, they show that there was a change of plea to no contest. Okay. And for charge 1, they went ahead and withheld the adjudication, which means he wasn't convicted. So he wasn't convicted of resisting/obstructing. He wasn't convicted of the charge of resisting/obstructing without violence. Instead, he was just given, he could have been given probation. In this case, the judge just gave him some fines he has to pay. And then, so you see that right here. I don't know if I can highlight it. Yeah, it's on the right-hand top kind of corner of the page. See where it's checkmarked ADJ, which is short for adjudication withheld. And then it's got the number 1. Then right under it, you see the number 2. And right next to it, it's checkmarked dismissed. Okay? So bicycle moped violation dismissed. And his adjudication was withheld on the resisting/obstructing an officer without violence charge and just received court costs and fines. Let's see what the court costs are. I think that should be on this next page, which you guys should see. Excellent. And I want to say it totals to be about $294. That's why they got that up here. These are all the charges or court fees he's got to pay. And then I think they even put him on a payment plan if I read something above a little bit correctly. But that's pretty much it. That concludes his disposition as far as those 2 charges, which again had to do with his most latest or recent arrest. Okay, which again we went over when we found out the information when he got arrested, and then there's even the video or live stream where we show the actual video from his last hearing, not the one on the 18th, but the one before that, which was just a few days before the 18th. I think it was on the 15th. All right, so let's jump over to the now charges that he has pled not guilty to, which he's scheduled. I'm just going to get you the date so we know when his next hearing is. And again, that's going to start the jury trial on the 2 charges of violating the protection order and trespassing charge, which I believe, and I do now know, not believe, they are both misdemeanor charges. At one time, they were charged or filed as one was a felony level, but then they went ahead and refiled the charges. Or I think he was arrested on a felony level charge, but then they filed the charges as both of them being misdemeanors. But let me jump over that case really quick. Oops. Give me 1 second. I have to log back in really quick. All right, search. All right, there it is. So let me make sure you guys can see what I'm looking at. Excellent. So this is when you do that search for Mr. Brandon Grosso, a.k.a. Hampton Brandon. These are the cases that he has for that county, Broward County. You'll see that 3 of them are disposed. One of them was just disposed most recently on the 18th. That was the case I just went over. Then you still see one that's pending. Okay? So let's go to the one that's pending. Again, that's going to be for these 2 charges here: violating an injunction, domestic violence order, and trespassing structure/conveyance. That's the one highlighted here, which you guys should see. Yeah. All right. His next hearing will be jury trial starting December 4th of this year, 8:30 a.m., room 5170. And then, of course, this date here, the hearing on the 15th, that's the one that we actually have the video from. Fortunately, I didn't get video from his hearing on the 18th, which is the update I gave you guys just right now. But that concludes our update on Hampton Brandon. Again, I hope I didn't confuse anybody. What up, Sunshinery? Good to see you. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me either through Instagram, the email address for the channel, or through chat. I try my best to reach chat, but of course, when I'm, presenting this information, it's hard. I don't have the cross eyes yet. I'm working on it, though. I need to get smacked around a little bit more. All right. So let's move on. Last but not least, girl, a.k.a. Alicia Heskett. this has been an interesting case. Not much going on as far as details from what I can get, because all we've been able to read is just the case updates from the oscn.net website, which I'm about to share with you right now. But for the most part, it's been telling us kind of what's happened. Now, I will say this. For whatever reason, they have been rescheduling her already like 2 or 3 times. And it got to the point where they rescheduled her so many times. And you got to remember, she is currently incarcerated in Rogers County, okay? So she's not out and about. She's in jail. So for her, the sooner they can handle the case, the better, right? But for whatever reason, they've rescheduled her already once, twice, 3 times, and then they rescheduled her on the 21st of November, which was her last hearing. And so originally they rescheduled her for a court hearing on the 17th. Okay. But, no, excuse me. Her hearing was on the 19th. Okay. On the 21st is when the grievance letter got received by the judge. So she had a hearing. So she got rescheduled. Let's see. Once, twice, 3 times. Kind of almost 4 times. But either way, on the 19th, when she had her last hearing, they had rescheduled her for the December the 17th. But she wrote a grievance letter, and that's where you see here on the bottom note from 11/21 that says, court receives grievance letter from defendant. I unfortunately doesn't show us the grievance letter, so I can't read that. I don't know what she said. But it appears that it got the court to reschedule her hearing from December 17th to a sooner court date for December the 5th at 9 a.m. All right? So that's pretty much it. So from our last update, nothing's changed other than they rescheduled her. They had rescheduled her again for December the 17th. She wasn't happy about that. She wrote a grievance letter. Judge got it on November the 21st. And on that date, they went ahead and rescheduled her for a sooner date of December the 5th. So on December the 5th, I think is when we'll pretty much probably find out what exactly is going to happen with old girl. She is on bond, so technically she can be bonded out. Let me see if we've got the bond amount here. Because the bond amount, I think that shows on the booking info is not the correct amount, because that was reflecting a felony level charge. They've since then just filed a threatening to perform act of violence, which is a misdemeanor charge, in court now. So I would imagine her bond would be lowered or go down. Here we go. Defense request for bond, personal release bond. Oh, that's when she was asking for a PR bond, which is to be released on your own and like an ROR. But she is on bond. Sometimes they have the bond paperwork here. I mean, it's not that important. I mean, if you want to go bond her out, just call Rogers County Jail and they'll tell you how much it is. But I think it's kind of funny that her little boyfriend hasn't even tried once to try to bond her out, when you know that if he was in the same situation, he would have been begging her to bond him out. As a matter of fact, I think I caught from one of the thousands of live streams he's had in the last few days something of the fact that he's now upset that she's being held in jail this long, because I guess he figures that once old girl's out, he'll have a place to go kick it at, and also a free ride everywhere now to go to get his stuff. You know what I mean? So it's not because he cares about her. It's just the sooner she gets out, the sooner he gets a free place to stay at, is what I'm probably understanding. But I just think it's funny that, you know, every time he goes to jail, oh, he's out the next day, right? Oh, them angels get him out. They don't care if they got to put their fucking, go see one of those fucking loan companies that loan at a 98%, you know. Just whatever they got to do. They don't eat for a week just to get that piece of shit out. But he can't even get out his little girlfriend there that he's going to be bumming a ride for her as soon as she gets released, if she does get released. But anyways, let's not speculate. What up, Go Girl? Welcome, everybody just coming in. Welcome to all the members of the jury. Sorry if I... What up, Candy Kiss? Sorry if I didn't have a chance to say hi to you guys before. But, yeah, that's my update on Go Girl. Go Girl. See what you got me saying now? Go Girl. Old girl. Yeah, so that's it, ladies and gents. Like I said, I was going to try to keep it under an hour, and it looks like we're at 45 minutes. So that's great. Kept it in under an hour, and even we're able to have a live interview with Mr. Mike Strokeoff, which again, thank you again, Mike, if you're still watching, for coming up. But, and also, if you weren't here this morning, again, you can catch the update on the MGL update or Michelle Sabate update, which is just they have now filed the 3 charge. Well, originally it was 4 charges. She was originally arrested on a DUI, which it now appears that they have not filed a DUI charge against her, but they have filed 3 charges, including, what did we say? Something with obstructing the license plate or something. There's a charge of, simple battery on an officer and obstructing an officer. All misdemeanor charges. But yeah, they went ahead and didn't file the DUI for whatever reason. And again, I'm going to try to get some more info on that case. She is scheduled for a hearing in December. I forgot the exact date. I'll have to go back to that VOD to get that info, or just, again, you can access that through the Harris County Clerk's website. Just do a Google search for Harris County, Georgia, Harris County Clerk, Georgia. And you'll see when you go on their website on the top, there's a banner. You'll see something that says case search. Click on that. You can do a case search for either criminal or on the civil side. She does have on the civil side the information you can access regarding her divorce paperwork and her divorce case. But we access the criminal side, which you can see her last case, which she was that got disposed of. That's already been taken care of, which had to do with the 911 call harassing the operator. And now, most recently, she has been charged for the incident stemming from her February 17th DUI arrest, which, again, she was arrested for that, but they did not file that charge. Not saying that they might file it later on down the road. Who knows? But at this moment, they've only filed 3 charges against her. Okay, and more information to come. I guess she's still pending, or the county's still pending filing the charges for her second DUI, which, again, I said this morning, if I'm not mistaken, the state of Georgia, the DA's office or prosecutor's office has up to 1 year from the date of arrest to make sure to file those charges. If they don't, there's the possibility that the case gets dismissed or squashed, okay? So in this case, they managed to get those charges filed before February, so she's now got to face the judge for those. And again, she is still pending charges being filed in regards to the second DUI that she received. And again, I don't remember what the exact date that was, but she does have 2 pending DUIs. With one of those DUIs, the pending still charges being filed, and with the other DUIs, charges being filed, but that's not a DUI anymore. It's just instead of it being 4 charges originally, it's now 3. All right. That's about it. So if you want to catch that VOD, it's up. That was from this morning. I had promised I was going to come back here and fill you in on the other updates. So there you go. All right, my friends. What do we have? What do we have coming up next? Well, we got a busy December. Let me get this out of the way. Oops. We've got a busy December. We've got a lot of court cases going on in December. So definitely going to do a lot of updates. I'll try my best to see which ones I can bring to you as far as audio and video. Always try my best to bring that to you. But worst case, we've got the online updates that we can go over. But from now until the end of the month, what do we have coming up? Well, Thanksgiving's coming up in 2 days, just in case you forgot. So I plan on putting up some community posts between now and Thanksgiving. We are going to do our traditional who's in jail during the holiday list. We do one during Thanksgiving and during Christmas time. We did that last year. We'll continue that this year, but I'm not going to come up and do that live. I'll just post it as a community post. I don't plan on coming on live on Thanksgiving Day unless some crazy shit happens and there's some breaking news that needs to go on. Same thing with tomorrow. Unless there's any breaking news to come on, I don't plan on a show tomorrow. But I do plan on coming back on Friday for a Black Friday special. No, I'm not for sale. Okay. What I mean by that is we're going to have we'll do some court case updates, or we'll do something fun. But we'll do something on Black Friday for sure. Check in and see how your guys' Thanksgiving went. So with that being said, since I'm not going to see you guys then, I want to say I hope you all have a fantastic and wonderful and safe Thanksgiving Day / Thanksgiving holiday week because I know a lot of you guys are off for the next 3 days, or maybe the weekend if you were lucky enough. But again, please be safe, especially if you're going to be drinking a little bit. No, nothing with having fun on Thanksgiving Day. Drink a little of vino or content juice, but remember, be responsible. If you drove, make sure you don't drive back. Get a ride from a friend or somebody that's sober. Call an Uber, Lyft. You've seen through the many, many individuals now we've covered. It is not worth the hassle, the time, the money, and all the other things that can happen, including going to jail, not to mention hurting somebody else, including yourself, most importantly, over just a simple, stupid mistake, okay? It's very easy. Just don't drive if you drink, all right? But I know all of you are responsible for the most part, so I'm not going to worry too much. But please, just be careful. And also be, like I always say, keep that head on a swivel and check that 6 every once in a while, because although you might be sober, you might be a great driver. You might be on the road with other dangerous drivers. So always be on the lookout for that. Be vigilant. But I hope everybody has a great holiday week. I hope to see you guys back on Friday. Again, if there's any crazy shit that happens, I will break that news. We're a news station. We work 24/7, 7 days a week. That's all I have for tonight, folks. So unless there's any other questions, and if you do, let's go ahead and send those over to me either through Instagram or through my channel's email. I'll try my best to answer them for you. Otherwise, I think we'll conclude tonight's broadcast, ladies and gents, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate on your way out if you could slam that thumbs up button for me, please. It helps out a lot. It lets me know if I'm doing a good job, and also, most importantly, it helps out with the algorithm. It puts this video out into the YouTube space, whatever you want to call it, and hopefully gets a little bit more views than usual. But either way, I would appreciate, because it lets me know that I'm doing an all right job. All right, my friends, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night. As I always say, keep that head on a swivel. Check that 6 every once in a while. Most importantly, don't forget to take some time to love somebody, even if it's yourself. I love you guys as always. And don't say I didn't say it. Take them earbuds out or lower that volume, because we's about to get loud up in here. You ready? Hold on, I need to take a little swig of my drink. Oh, before I do, let me check my phone. See, I got to remind myself to check my phone to make sure I didn't miss any questions, any important updates. And as a matter of fact, it looks like we just got a donation from Gold Girl Rodriguez. Thank you, Gold Girl, for the $10 donation that says, thank you for your info with court. And I think that's all it said. Maybe you wanted to say court news, but it cut you off. But I appreciate that, Gold Girl. Thank you so much for your continued support, my friend. I appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. You guys know what to do in chat. Spam them gavels if you got them, please. Gold Girl, this gavel slam goes out to you, my friend. Loud and proud. Spam them gavels. Now, as a matter of fact, before we go, I'm going to spam the turkeys. Gobble till you wobble. Wobble till you gobble. Gobble till you wobble, wobble. Gobble till you wobble. Oh, I love you guys, man. Hey, have a safe, great Thanksgiving, folks. NJCourts is officially... Oh, wait, hold on. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any other messages. Okay, I think I'm good. I think we're good. Is officially out. Here come the troops. Come on, join me on this one. Out. There we go. Oh, yeah. Peace, everybody. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Dobby and Rio say bye.